Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the place to watch some additional Had Daniel. Today we have quite the doozy of a topic, all right? And it's one that I really have pretty strong opinions on for various reasons, and it's about Destiny, all right? You might know him as Destiny, you might know him as Stephen Bonnell, you might even know him as Stephen Kenneth Bonnell II. Alright, you could know him as Diddy, you know, as some people like to call him. So if you're seeing this video, there's a pretty good chance you already know who Destiny is. He's actually one of probably like in literally the top 10 of one of the very first people to do streaming specifically full-time. Not necessarily content creation, but streaming full-time. He was on Justin TV, which is, I'm pretty sure, that's literally what Twitch was called before it even ever became known as Twitch. Yeah, he's one of the oldest streamers out there doing it full time. He's in recent years he's been mostly known for his political commentary. All right, and unlike most other social media people, content creator people who do political things, he has actually interacted with real world political stuff. All right, and I just want to keep this in mind, you guys. Just a little disclaimer here. We're really talking about the United States here. All right. He's been one of the very few content creators who has actually had any sort of impact at all, even if it's a small one, on the real world political climate, okay? But he's been in some trouble. Now, he's been in some trouble throughout many different points in his career, but this time, oh boy, this time, he is really in some trouble, all right? And this video is not about the politics, okay? Obviously, with this scenario, because of who the subject of this video is on, there will be political things mentioned, of course, but this video is not about the politics, all right? This video is just about situation with Destiny. So this tweet from a fellow content creator here on YouTube who does kind of commentary style videos, absolutely excellent channel. I really recommend you guys check him out. This man, Willie Mac Show, has some very enjoyable content, but he has been not really touching the Destiny situation, which is an ongoing situation that has been developing over several weeks now. He only just put out this statement the other day. DGG is on fire. Destiny sharing nudes of people without their consent so he can goon with a 19-year-old. Some of the nudes are from his friend's girlfriend, Jesus Christ. There's a group chat of people knowing that it's her, but the general public doesn't know yet. So President Sunday and Beckett take matters into their own hands and share it on the victim's behalf, even though they did not have permission to share their story. None of this is acknowledging that Melina, as well as other girls, have similar stories of Destiny doing this. What a shit show. DGG's down bad. And as Nicholas Durio points out, also another commentary creator here on YouTube, this man, it's like he just woke up from a deep slumber, all right? Because this is stuff that's been going on for a couple of weeks now, and he is only just now commenting on it. But this is just basically the very quick recap, okay? Several years ago, Destiny took videos of him engaging in sexual acts with one of his friends and sent them to another girl, all right? And the girl who was actually in the videos, it's pretty much known that she's consented to having those videos made. So he didn't record her without their consent, but she did not consent to having that footage shared to other people, all right? Much less somebody that she didn't even know, okay? So we got Destiny, we got Destiny's friend who was in those basically, I mean, we got to call them what they are, sex tapes, right? And then the 19-year-old who is the one that Destiny was sexting basically and shared these photos to. Now, I think personally it is pretty important to note that almost certainly Destiny did not share these photos in a with any sort of malicious intent. He really just couldn't keep his fucking dick in his pants, all right? He was literally just trying to goon, and that's how these images got spread around. All right, so eventually this 19-year-old girl, her Discord account gets hacked, and all of these DMs become public from Destiny. So not only do we see videos, which you might have seen this happen not that long ago, videos of Destiny sucking off other dudes and shit like that, but also these nudes of like a person. They're not even nudes. It's really a sex tape. It's videos of this poor innocent girl get leaked to the public. And you can imagine how freaking like life destroying and life reading that would be, you know? There's some other creators. President Sunday is the main example really of the person who broke the story to the public. Technically, this information was available when the Discord account in question got hacked, and all of these videos were made public. There weren't many eyes on the story. All those eyes were just glued to the videos of Destiny fucking sucking cock, all right? So, I mean, thankfully, and this is a good thing for the victim here, whose name is Pixie, that her videos weren't really in the spotlight. They weren't really being shared around. until President Sunday, without her permission, basically publicized the story. Now, this is definitely a scenario where it should be up to the victim when their story gets released to the public. Maybe they never want it to be released to the public, or at least never popularized. Obviously, there's only some amount of control you can have over that. But as a content creator, you should really have responsibility. You should take responsibility for the decisions you make, what you make content about. It was irresponsible and it was wrong of President Sunday to break this story without Pixie's permission first. And even if you might think, don't even think for a second here that President Sunday was, saying like, I think I know what's best for her. Even if she doesn't want me to release the content, I'm going to release it anyway so I can, get justice for her story, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, stop right there, because that's not even why he released the video. If you actually go and watch it, it is very much just a Destiny hit piece, a Steven hit piece, and not a Pixie advocate piece, okay? He really is very clear his intentions are just to put out a hit piece against Destiny and criticize Destiny, even going so far as to call Pixie a suicide baiter and a gold digger and such things like that. So really not great, okay? But at this point the cat is out of the bag, and now the allegations are public. So bam, like, what's gonna happen from here? All right, Destiny has been outed. There have been DMs of his that have been publicized where he was taking blame to Pixie in the said DMs. So it's not something that's really allegations. It has been admitted. He admitted to it himself. So it's not really allegations at this point. At least this is basically confirmed. But since then, even more girls have come out with their stories. We have Melina, who is Destiny's ex-wife, and another one of Destiny's old friends. Her name is Cherry. They have both come out with statements saying that Destiny actually has recorded them without their consent. So what's the future for Destiny going to look like? Well, we don't really know in terms of the police report that's been filed and the civil suit that's going on. Obviously, with that kind of stuff, only time will tell. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But what about like the future of Destiny? Me, as someone who watched this creator and really took value in the political beliefs that they held, what am I supposed to do here? And for a moment there, with Destiny's response that eventually he came out with on stream, there was a path forward basically, and we can see that here in clip from Destiny's return stream.
I will reiterate, and I do want to say this just because I saw some of it. I don't think it's a huge deal, but I don't think too many people think it. But just to be clear, regardless of whatever you think I've done or have heard people talk about me, don't assume. Let's assume. Let me be very careful here. Even assuming if I did do the worst things possible, and you still wanted to watch my content, in your mind, the process should be like a separate the art from the artist, or it should be a man, he fucked up really bad, if those things were true that have been said publicly. But don't ever lock yourself in the trap of the person that I like did a thing, so now I'm going to justify the thing. Those are the only comments that I saw in my community that were worrisome to me.
So real quick, just based off of that clip, the way he was talking, you might be kind of confused. You might think it was kind of weird. The reason he's talking like that, so regardless of what you've heard, what you might have think I've done, stuff like that, the reason he's saying that is because obviously with ongoing legal action, he's very restricted. Steven's going to be very restricted in what he can say without messing up his case and stuff like that. So no comment on that, just kind of to give you an idea of like why he might be talking like that. Let's get into actually what he was saying. Separate the art from the artist. Okay, so he was saying what your path forward, if you were a Destiny fan and want to continue watching the content, you kind of have two choices, and one of them is a clear answer. If you want to go through separating the art from the artist, that's one way of looking at it. But what he says, and I have to say, this is important that he said that. I think it's an important idea that he should make clear that he is against. Do not just blindly defend him just because you're a fan of him or just because you agree with his political takes, okay? Even if he might be useful to your cause, you could say, right? In the politics side of things. That doesn't mean we should excuse bad behavior or sweep bad behavior under the rug. We need to hold people accountable regardless of whose team they're on, okay? So that's an important idea for sure, and I'm glad he said that. And then when I've heard him say this other thing, I was glad as well, because I was like, you know what, that makes sense, and I think that's a good way of looking at things going forward. Separate the art from the artist, okay? I have always held the belief that Destiny's personal life is probably an insane train wreck that's unsustainable, and he shouldn't live like that. And this has honestly all just been proof of that, right? But if I thought that before, but I still engaged with his content because I put value in what he was saying, in the political beliefs he held, why can't I continue doing that going forward? That's what I asked myself, and it makes sense. It's honestly a compelling question, right? But there's another important idea to think about here, and I think it's illustrated best in this video made by Abba, who's from Abba and Preach. Abba is a friend of Destiny. They've collaborated on content before, but they're also friends in their personal lives. So roll the clip.
It's like, if you're serious about this, you should make this sacrifice. And if you can't, then I don't think you really care about the political positions that you claim to care about. Not that deeply. Can't, because you can't put your dick in your pants.
So there you go. That really does sum it up quite well. And when I heard this and when I came to this conclusion on my own as well, I realized, yeah, this actually just really isn't a situation that I just don't think he should be able to come back from, or at least not unless some serious accountability is taken. Basically, the idea that Abba was trying to get at here is that no one should really hold any stock in your political positions if you're going to betray them in your personal life in the way that you do, okay? If you're somebody who would be so morally bankrupt that you do something like share revenge porn, because technically that is what it could be called, right? And depending on how these allegations play out, the further allegations, that you'd be so morally bankrupt that you would film someone without their consent, your political beliefs shouldn't have any stock put in them whatsoever, okay? And this is a kind of a way that I came to thinking of it that I think makes a lot of sense. And that's, if a politician in our actual real government had did something like this, we would hold them accountable. They don't get to continue being the politician. We don't say separate the art from the artist. Sure, he did a bad thing in his personal life, or he lives his personal life in a way that I don't agree with, but he has good political ideas. He has good economic ideas, so we'll keep him around. No, of course not. That's not what we do. Maybe as someone who makes music, or someone who makes comedy sketches, or something like that, you can take this idea of separate art from the artist. But I have to say, I really have to say, I just don't think that applies to somebody like Destiny, somebody who's a political pundit, okay? Somebody who actually is going to have a hand in politics in any way, shape, or form. From this point on, Destiny streamed to his community that likes to watch his videos. And would I say you could separate the art from the artist in that scenario? Sure, yeah, but if he's going to try to really affect any kind of political change, I don't think he deserves the platform for that. And much less deserves any sympathy for being in this situation in the first place, okay? Every single ounce of sympathy you have in your bones should go directly to the victims. And honestly, as much as I personally have problems with people like Hassan Piker or Frogan or something like that, I don't even have sympathy for Destiny against those people, because they're going to have more ammo against him, because he really put himself in this situation by the choices he made in his own life. So I want to thank you guys for watching up to this point. There are actually a lot more ideas that are valuable to discuss here, okay? It's not just this one thing of separate the art from the artist. No, we shouldn't. Destiny doesn't apply here. There's a lot more stuff on Destiny that is really worth talking about, not in a good way for him, but where I don't think I could do it any better than this creator here, Ryan Beard, has done it, okay? There are some criticisms I have in this video, and that could be a whole other video in and of itself, my criticisms of this Ryan Beard video, but I do think the information that he puts out there is valuable. It's nice to have it all in one place in a pretty easily digestible format. He doesn't do a great job of presenting the information in a non-biased way. He's very clearly biased against Destiny, but that's not something that's inherently wrong. I would recommend you watch that video yourself, try to separate the bias, just take the information on its face, come to your own conclusions about the kind of person you think Destiny is and whether or not he deserves your support, and we'll basically see how things go from here. But with all that being said, I really do appreciate you guys for hanging out. I'm gonna go ahead and have not only Ryan Beard's video linked in the description, but also Abba's video that I referenced earlier. But yeah, with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one, and until then, peace.